Wow, it's time for another show full of tips and ideas from the sales growth leadership expert, Dean Akers. Known for his experience in hyper-growing companies and creating cultures for high-performance teams, here's Dean.
Well, welcome to your Sales and Leadership Ninja Show. I'm your head ninja, Dean Akers, and every week I bring you a rant to simulate your thinking in the realm of sales and leadership. Today's show, learn to strike out. It's okay. That's right. Learn to strike out. It's okay. You know, in sales, a lot of times you'll have lost sales reports. People go, "Why'd you lose the sale?" Everybody's angst and stuff, and people hate to lose deals. And companies kind of get on salespeople. If you lose too many deals, they don't think you're good at sales, so they oftentimes will terminate you, which creates its own set of stressors for people in sales. And so what happens is you'll see a lot of turnover, and you'll see really not super successful sales organizations. They do okay, and management kind of rationalizes their sales programs. They're always manipulating those things with commissions and different things and spiffs and everything else. And really what they're missing, in my experience, is they're missing creating confidence within their organization. So today's show is, again, learn to strike out. It's okay. And it's a premise that I witnessed years and years ago when my sons were young. They played Little League, and I helped coach their teams. And I witnessed something that has now changed how I've had my teams function from way back when through today. I found out the biggest fear in Little League for Little League kids, and now these are Little League early start outs. These aren't kids that have been playing for 10 years and playing at high school and junior high level. These are start outs. And the biggest fear they have is striking out. And the kids would go up believing that they would strike out. And the fear of striking out almost became a self-fulfilling prophecy. They stood further from the plate. They would literally swing with their eyes closed. And then, of course, when they struck out, they blame the umpire for bad calls or just every excuse on the planet of why they would strike out. And so what I found out was, or what I was witnessing was, the fear of striking out, the fear of their fellow team members, laughing at them, whatever, or their fear of not being the best at the time caused this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. And so what I discovered was a strategy where we would actually reward strikeouts. That's right, you heard me. We rewarded strikeouts. And what happened is now a strikeout wasn't something to be feared or kidded. This new confidence with everyone, now they would get in there and swing at the ball. They swung confidently at the ball, knowing that if they struck out, hey, they were up there swinging. And what this confidence led to was many more hits, many more runs, and ultimately we had many more wins. So taking away the risk of failure or this risk of striking out created a newfound level of success. So in businesses, you find it every day when people talk about closing rates and everything else. People talk about, my closing rate's 80% and blah, 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 blah. And they just talk about all this stuff. Sales managers, if somebody doesn't have high closing rates, they're putting them on probation. And so consequently, people become fearful of striking out. Now, you got to get deals. And you sit there and go, well, Dean, if you have a salesperson that can't get deals, yeah, but are they really on deals? Do they really, and when I say on deals, are they just going through the motions, much like my kids did, where they would be up at plate and they would strike out, but were they really striking out? My contention is they weren't really striking out because they really weren't in the game, so to speak, mentally, believing they could hit the ball. And a lot of times in the sales world, you'll find your sales teams, when they're not successful in closing, is it really closing issues or the fear that of closing that's causing it more for them to make what I call stupid rookie mistakes because of that fear? So before this philosophy, this was a phenomenon that salespeople, they would be on a deal, and when they lose a deal, it was always price or some of his SKUs. Or I would hear how competitive it was. The customer only buy by price, blah, 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 blah. And what I found out when I really had my one-on-ones with my sales folks was it was, again, the fear of the strikeout. When we really vetted it, it was their own lack of self-confidences. It was technique. It was a bunch of little stuff, but it ultimately came down to the fear of failure, because failure was defined as failure, and that's how you were judged in business. That's you could lose your job, all this other stuff. So the less deals you were on, or the bigger reasons why you lost it. I can't believe they sold it for this. Can you? And the manager goes, "Oh my God, they're crazy," and everybody commiserates, and that still doesn't change the fact that there was a strikeout, but it justified it. And so now everybody kind of goes home saying, "Oh, okay, that was why." The reality is there wasn't the confidence. Back to my kids, when the kids got confidence, all of a sudden the fear of striking out was gone. And now they would get up there and swing confidently, and they got more hits, got more runs, and we got more wins. When your sales team is fearful of losing a deal, they tend to not be on deals. They tend to get on deals kind of like standing back from the plate. In other words, they're not really in it. They're not learning the customer. They don't know a lot of details. They're not doing their deep dives. They're not doing their handwritten. They're not doing the things that make superstars. And consequently, they're doing it because they're fear of losing the deal. And the fact of the matter is, who exacerbates that? We as leaders do. Because if people aren't closing, we want to change things. We want to, try to manipulate them instead of help them understand this phenomena of success. Being on the deal and then learning how to do the deal without the fear of losing it, will result in higher margins, more sales, and bigger successes as a team and as a company. Now, I can promise you this always works. Always works. So what you want to do, if you're in management or leadership, you want to sit down with your team. You want to find out, and not in a big group setting where the embarrassment is there, but with one-offs, sit down and really talk through how many sales they lose. And if they have a closing ratio of 80% or whatever they start telling you, what it tells me usually is they're not on enough deals, or they're kind of picking and choosing because of the fear of striking out. What you want is your team on more deals. Then when they lose a deal, you want to help them analyze it so they can create it. And this is how you create ninja salespeople with high levels of income. This is how you create high levels of success within your company. This is how you really do well growing your team. Most people in companies are trying to manage their team, not help them develop this philosophy of be on the deal. Don't fear about losing the deal, but make sure you're doing all the right things so that when you strike out or lose a deal, you lost it for the right reasons. So this week, what I want you to do is I want you to go out there, and I want you to be okay with striking out. If you're in management, I want you to sit down with your sales team, individuals, and really talk to them about the fear of striking out, and just make sure they're up to bat. Make sure you're giving them those fundamentals that give them the confidence to get up there and hug the plate, to make the swing, to hit the hit. And if they strike out, they struck out really swinging, not striking out of fear. So remember, learn to strike out. It's okay. Teach your team to strike out. It's okay. And new successes will follow, I promise you. This is not a theory. This is something that I've played out in a number of my companies, and it always works. And when the team gets it, you don't have this level set growth. You have meteoric growth, and your team really goes out there and kicks butt, and price doesn't matter. Competition doesn't matter, because your team really knows how to swing the bat. So thanks for tuning in each week, and remember to share if this helps you. My book, Self-Talk, Think Like a Child, is available on Amazon. If you ever have a question, just email me at help@deanakers.com. That's right, help@deanakers.com. And I'll be glad to help you. So now you know, strikeouts are okay. Have a great week.